Thank you, Professor. Distinguished audience, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really grateful to the National School of Political Studies and Public Administration for giving me and giving us the opportunity to address topics such as NATO's role, missions and partnerships in the 21st century from Romania's perspective. Thank you also for presenting the message on behalf of the Prime Minister. I cannot but support the key lines of the position of the Romanian government on this topic. And also I would like to thank you particularly for reminding me the fact that today the electoral campaign started. But I'm doing my job as Minister of Foreign Affairs because the topic is important and because the commitment of Romania within NATO is important. NATO is an organization that has successfully adapted to the new security environment, as today's looks a lot different from the alliance of the 50s and has developed even from the organization Romania was invited to join 10 years ago at the Prague summit. The sense of solidarity which forms the very basis of our alliance has preserved peace in Europe for more than 60 years and continues to be in the first century as necessary as ever. The latest NATO summit in Chicago has reaffirmed the importance of a robust transatlantic partnership in the struggle against complex and intertwined security challenges. NATO can be today proud of its achievements and of the way in which it has managed to maintain its essential role in the world. It has built new partners of cooperation both through enlargement and through its tailored partnerships. The open door policy of the North Atlantic Alliance, along with the European Union enlargement, have contributed to fostering regional security and stability by promoting dialogue and cooperation. But the job is not yet finished. Ladies and gentlemen, the alliance remains the main warrantor for Romania's security, and as a country at the borders of NATO, Romania's interest lies in the strong, viable and united alliance. The collective defense of our population's territory and forces remains NATO's most important security task. Therefore, a strong transatlantic link, which is the foundation of NATO, remains as crucial as ever. It has to be mentioned that nowadays the core task of NATO, the collective defense, is also ensured through a proactive out-of-Europe projection of security through missions in Afghanistan, growing partnerships with the countries in the broader Middle East, and cooperative relationships with countries such as Australia, South Korea and Japan, whilst developing worthwhile partnerships across the European and Euro-Atlantic area and beyond. The principles of indivisibility of security and allied solidarity remain fundamental, and so are the partnerships NATO is developing. Against this background, let me underscore that the alliance evolving partnerships represent an important part of NATO's transformation process, and they are extremely successful in shaping the strategic environment in the Euro-Atlantic area. By promoting political dialogue and military interoperability, partnerships develop a genuine Euro-Atlantic security culture and a strong determination to work together in tackling critical security challenges. In the last decade, Afghanistan was at the top of NATO's agenda. In 2001, the international community began a tremendous effort to achieve a more stable Afghanistan, free of terrorists. In 2003, NATO assumed the command of the International Security Assistance Force, ISAF, with a view to secure Afghanistan, to help this country become governed by the rule of law and enjoy friendly relations with its neighbors. From the very beginning, when Romania was still knocking at NATO's door, we shared a significant part of the international effort in this country and paid a heavy blood tribute. We committed troops to the first UN mission launch in 2001. We became operational partners when NATO took on the ISAF command in 2003. And since 2004, when Romania became a NATO member, we were among those allies who regularly deployed troops in the theater of operations. Today we are in the full process of transition with a view of handover the security responsibilities to the Afghan National Security Forces no later than the end of 2014. As we have committed in Chicago, NATO will continue to provide support to Afghanistan in order to ensure the stability and security does not unravel after the ISAF troop withdrawal. In our view, it is important not only to preserve what we have gained in terms of securing Afghanistan, but also to continue a fruitful experience of cooperating with partners in the framework of a new advisory and training mission. Missile defense is another important project which demonstrates not only the strength of the transatlantic link, but also NATO's capability to adapt to the current challenges and to protect its members and eventually its partners. Romania has been part of this project from the very beginning, and I am particularly satisfied to inform you today that the plans for implementing this capability, including the developments at the Deveselu base in Romania, are on schedule. Making the NATO missile defense system operational in the agreed calendar will increase our common security, and I am certain that the security of our neighbors will be also improved. As stated in Chicago and by Romania in more than one occasion, NATO missile defense is not directed against Russia and will not undermine Russia's strategic deterrence capabilities. NATO missile defense is intended to defend against potential threats emanating from outside of the Euro-Atlantic area, including non-state actors. Romania sees NATO's cooperation with Russia in missile defense as a positive sum game, an opportunity for both sides to work together. We hope Russia intends to reciprocate to this approach, and regarding NATO's relations with Russia, we will continue to support the balance between principles and pragmatic cooperation. The recent successful launching in Bucharest of the telemedicine project, one of Romania's initiatives developed under the aegis of the NATO-Russia Council, is a concrete example in this respect. In times of financial austerity, the smart defense concept represents a notable tool for achieving a more efficient protection. In effect, smart defense is about having better forces, better capabilities and stronger partnerships in order to be able to face the current threats in an effective manner. Therefore, Romania has already expressed its interest to participate in several multinational projects under this initiative. The increased synergies between NATO and the European Union, as reflected by the mutually reinforcing initiatives, smart defense and pooling and sharing, confirm the fact that NATO's most important partnership remains the one with the European Union. Taken together, the EU and NATO have woven a web of partnerships that stretches across their respective neighborhoods, thus mutually reinforcing their reach across the bordering regions. Concurrently, Romania undertakes a long-term commitment to decisively contribute to the promoting cooperation, stability and prosperity in its neighboring zones, the Western Balkans and the wider Black Sea region, as well as to the entire Euro-Atlantic area. We firmly believe that belonging to the Euro-Atlantic community facilitates the democratic transformations, consolidates the rule of law and leads towards social and security progress. The fact that there are still countries knocking on NATO's door and acting in order to fulfill the required criteria is one of the clearest proofs of this organization is still well in business and relevant. Aspirant countries need to receive encouraging messages in line with the continued importance that NATO attaches to its open door policy. NATO's enlargement is and should remain a process based on the right of all countries to choose freely their alliances and security arrangements and not directed against any third party. At the same time, there are also countries which do not want to join the alliance but have chosen instead to substantiate their partnerships with the alliance. On its turn, NATO is interested in developing a strong partnerships with them, as their contribution to the security and stability of the Euro-Atlantic area is equally important. NATO needs increased cooperation with all partners, and this can be achieved by revitalizing its oldest and most comprehensive partnership, the Euro-Atlantic Partnership Council, and by substantiating dialogue and cooperating with other like-minded partners across the globe within new variable geometry formats. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Romania is particularly well placed, geographically and historically, to take on the role of promoter of the Euro-Atlantic values into neighboring regions. It is in our national interest to be more than the border of the West. We have to become a bridge for extending the benefits of stability and Euro-Atlantic values beyond our borders. Global threats defining the strategic context of the alliance are perceptible. A wide network of partnerships is an important asset of the alliance with regard not only to NATO's current and future operations, but also in terms of strategic awareness of multiplying the ability to fight new and emerging security challenges such as cyber attacks and threats to the energy security or to that of waterways. I'm persuaded that this conference will provide a great opportunity for an in-depth discussion on NATO wider neighborhood and partnerships. Transparency and involvement of broad categories, members of the Parliament, academics, journalists, NGOs, are very important features for openly informing the public on NATO's future role. I would like to congratulate once again the organizers for this important opportunity to have a fruitful exchange of views, and I'm looking forward to continue the cooperation with your institute.